Hello, everyone. Commencement's going to begin shortly. At this time, please silence your cell phones and mobile devices. If you'll allow me to point you to the very back of your program, we do have some hashtags for commencement. We do encourage everyone here to include these hashtags to tag NECB and the 2019 commencement when posting social media channels. So show your pride and support for our graduates on this special day, and we're going to be starting really, really soon. So settle in. Here we go.
Good job walking in, graduates. I'd like to welcome everyone to the 2019 commencement exercises for the New England College of Business and Finance. At this time, I ask everyone to please stand or remain standing for the singing of the national anthem by the a cappella group Sound Off.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars to the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we marched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare amongst the singing air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Thank you, Sound Off, for that very moving edition of the anthem. The only thing that moves me more is looking at these graduates in front of us. So thank you, family and friends, for being here on this wonderful first day of meteorological summer, June 1. I know a lot of you have come from out of town, and we're going to explore that later. But to start us off, we're going to get some remarks from our esteemed chairperson of our board. In your program, you'll see the listing of our full board members. Our board is very important to the college. They're very focused on making sure the college remains true to its mission, which is to provide a highly affordable education, but one that's very high quality. And I think our graduates are a testament that they are doing a good job in keeping the college focused on its mission. So I'd like to invite Chairman Harshbarger. Chairman Harshbarger is the former Attorney General of Massachusetts, former President of Common Cause, the former District Attorney for Middlesex County. Don't worry, he's not looking for criminal prosecutions anymore. But he is here to give us his remarks. So, Chairman Harshbarger.
Thank you, President Horton. I will have the honor of introducing him in return in just a few minutes. It is a great honor for me to be here, to see all of you. And I really just have 4 or 5 points that I'd like to make. First of all, I want to congratulate each and every one of you for this achievement. You are on the way. You are on the way. To being, as much as those of us in my generation hate to admit it, you're going to be the leaders of today and tomorrow. It is to some extent on you as well, but you are the cavalry. Let me also say that above all, I think I join with you in thanking all of the families that have stood by and made this moment possible. So please join me in thanking all of those who made this support possible. Secondly, I would like to thank, on behalf of the Board of Trustees and one of the members who joins me, Marcela Aldaz Matos, who's the now not only no longer at Partners, where she was a distinguished leadership career, but is now a major consultant with her own company, MCBI Talent Management Advisors, on a number of different levels. And she, like our commencement speaker, will be one of those leaders who will serves now as a role model for so many of you, but also will be one of the leaders that make a huge difference in the quality of our life in this country over the next several years. You see the list of the Board of Trustees. They're listed as Howard mentioned, and it's simply a group that we're just honored to have the opportunity to serve the college in this way and to be here for you, hopefully. Third, I want to thank the executive team. This has been, as many of these years are in the college world, a challenging year for the president, the executive team, and our faculty. But we are really blessed here at New England College of Business to have an executive team and a faculty that prides itself on excellence, on ensuring that we care deeply, that we work hard, but we have immense dedication to you, to our mission, and above all, loyalty to this institution, because all it stands for and because of what you represent in terms of that mission every day. And I want to thank all of you for that on behalf of the Board of Trustees. The fourth point is one that I have made here before. It's no surprise to you, I think. This is probably one of the most challenging times to our democracy in my lifetime. We face challenges to the core principles and legal and value principles of our democracy, of the rule of law. We face challenges about our common sense of community, decency, civility, and engagement to each other. We are focusing more on things that divide us than unite us. And yet, in America, democracy is played out through the politics. And we are now engaged in a polarization of our politics, our culture, and our public policy. It is a time, not of crisis perhaps, but it's a time for all of us to be vigilant and to remember the words of a person who founded Common Cause, John Gardner, who urged us all to remember, and all of you as business leaders to remember, democracy is not a spectator sport. And if you have the privilege now of an education, we ask you and urge you not to stay on the sidelines, but to enter the fray, because that's how we work out these many crises. And we're dealing with so many different things in terms of quality of life, potential corruption of our institutions, the question whether business is geared more to the 1% than the 99%, business leaders who focus more on their own compensation than on the impact they make on society as a whole. And I wanted just to close today to urge you to consider not what I have to say, but what of a gentleman who, if there's anybody that represents the benefits of our capitalist society, of sound and responsible corporate responsibility, of success in the business world, a gentleman named Michael Bloomberg. And because I happened to see yesterday in the Boston Globe the excerpts from his commencement address to the Harvard Business School, I thought I would just quote briefly from it, because in many ways it says more than I could say to you about what is about and what the challenges are to you. Mr. Bloomberg said that my luckiest break was taking a job out of college where I got to see the ethics I learned growing up put into practice in the workplace. But when we look at today's world, it's clear not everyone with a degree in business has those principles. And that's one reason I believe that our great country of ours is suffering from an ethical crisis that is corroding our society. Today, Americans are questioning whether those in the private sector and in Washington can provide moral leadership our country needs, both economically and politically. He asks, is our economic system breaking down because of its inequality? And it says at the same time, if they're not blinded by partisanship when they look at Washington, they see truth and science being trampled with reckless abandon. They see the rule of law being attacked and undermined. And they see a chorus of enablers who defend every lie and abuse of power. And they wonder, is our political system breaking down too? In the end, he quotes and says, I believe that all of us have an obligation to reject those who traffic in dishonesty and deceit. This is not a partisan position. This is a patriotic position. Unfortunately, when we elect people to public office or leadership in business who have no interest in ethics, that depravity trickles down and seeps into our culture. And as our political culture denigrates, so does our ability to address the great challenges we face. He does offer hope, though, and that hope, he would say, if he were here, is you. Because he says all he asks of you to make this thing work is to be honest, to have integrity, to live by the ethics that you were brought up with, and to make sure that you try to do all you can to do well by doing good. You're going to hear today from a commencement speaker who demonstrates that she is not only a role model, but that she can and has done well by doing good as an outstanding economic leader. I thank you for being here. I appreciate this opportunity. I now introduce to you the president of New England College of Business, Howard Horton.
Thank you, Scott, for those wonderful remarks. So, being online students, you don't get a chance to raise your hands very much in class, right? I don't know if there's an electronic version of that when you want to speak up. But I want to start off with a couple of questions today because at commencements, usually it's the local graduates, but we actually have graduates here from all over the country, and I think we have some from some other continents. So first, let me see, did anyone come in from another continent? Please raise your hand if you have. Okay. If you traveled more than 500 miles, could you raise your hand? If you traveled more than 1,000 miles, raise your hand. Quite a few. If you traveled from the West Coast, raise your hand. Wow. Okay. Well, thanks so much for making the effort, just yet another effort that you've already made. And when it came to addressing a group of newly minted graduates such as yourselves, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt had this advice to would-be speakers. Be short, be simple, be seated. So happy graduation day. No, okay, sorry. I'm not going to be quite that short. But I think I can get us there in the right frame of mind pretty quickly. A few more hands that I'd like to see. Let me start by asking those of you who live in a college dormitory to raise your hands. Oh, I don't see any. Now let me ask how many of you have a job. Almost everyone. Okay, so now I can see the entire graduating class already has jobs and a place to live. Congratulations. That already puts you way ahead of the thousands of graduates who are having commencements this month and leaving without either. Of course, we wish them well. But having gotten to know many of you over these past few years, it does not surprise me that you are a cut above and a class apart from the typical college graduate. That's why I am always proud to send NECB graduates into the world, because you are already in the world. You made the decision to pursue your degree with a clear-eyed view of what you wanted to do. You wanted to be entrepreneurs and contributors to society, and you wanted to improve yourselves and thereby to improve the wide range of companies and organizations from which you come. Do you know that we have, if you look again in the program, almost 200 corporate partners that are represented through our graduating class? And let's give them a hand because many of them paid your tuition. I commend you for choosing to begin, and more so for choosing to finish, and for all the sacrifices and balancing that both entailed. You are constantly striving to reach higher heights. Want evidence? Let's give a hand to the 45% of you who have already reported to us that you have attained a promotion or expanded responsibilities even before graduating. And for the remaining 55%, I know more advancement is around the corner. Sometimes my colleagues who are area college presidents tell me how lucky I am to be working with a student body of such dedicated and hardworking people. But I think they might not understand that you are not all work and no play. Just because you are serious and successful working adults doesn't mean you don't know how to celebrate or to take some direction. So we have a little tradition here at NECB to prove that proposition. When I point my left hand, this one, I want all undergraduate candidates and their families and friends to say, yippee. And of course, since our graduate students should be able to handle a slightly more complicated expression of glee, when I point with my right hand, graduate students and their families and friends, please say, woohoo. Okay, so let's practice. That's not very loud, one more time. Great. And, okay, and when you see both hands together, well, just play your part and we'll create a celebratory symphony. Remember, this is going on YouTube to show all those green behind the ear college kids how it's done. So don't slack. Excellent. Fantastic. I can't wait to upload that to show our celebration and our pride. But speaking of YouTube, let's talk a little bit about its pitfalls. And I don't mean the kittens riding on the Roombas. I mean the impact of modern technology and the erosion of the concept of privacy on your personal and professional careers. Now, you didn't think we'd have a graduation with a little advice. So looking at people who have achieved success, I have concluded that what you know is important, and you got a lot of that at NECB. Who you know is important, again, you've gotten that at NECB. But most important of all is who you are. So my advice to you today is about guarding your reputation. Your reputation, like almost nothing else, is something you have to earn. You can't inherit it, you can't buy it, you can't borrow it. You must earn it on your own merit, based upon your own actions and your own character. And that's hard enough. But in today's interconnected world where the concept of privacy is shifting, you have to think about your actions and whether you view them as part of your work life or not, and how they'll impact your reputation. After all, employers are now checking Facebook before hiring prospective employees, and people's personal Twitter accounts have gotten them fired. There's a long list of people who have fallen because they have underestimated the spotlight that technology throws on everything we do. Several years back, the Rutgers basketball coach, Mike Rice, he lost his job after a video surfaced of practices where he shoved, kicked, and threw things at his players. We all know what happened to New York Congressman Anthony Weiner, who was forced to resign, eventually incarcerated after tweeting pictures of himself in his underwear to college students. Let's say these photos were just strategically cropped and zoomed. Unless you think you're safe if you keep appropriate content and privacy settings, there were bankers who manipulated the LIBOR when there were private emails were found through instant messages and telephone messages. They were recorded and made public. So you aren't children. I don't have to warn you against the dangers of posting on Facebook photos of yourself at last night's overly raucous graduation party. But realize that the reason privacy settings exist at all is because public is increasingly the default. We can document what happens in our lives with the phones we carry and then share them and the information with the world. I can post my renovated kitchen on Pinterest, what I had for dinner on a cooking blog, and Instagram shots of last week's poker tournament. This changes the way we think about privacy and makes everything fair game. All of that information is up for grabs, both in your professional and personal lives. But it takes more than setting your privacy your settings a certain way to protect your reputation. None of the people I just mentioned can blame technology for their failings. Their failings were their own. Technology's just made it easy to rewind and replay every misstep, and a lot harder for those in question to deny. So it's not about hiding the parts of your life you don't want others to see. It's about leading a life that can hold up to scrutiny. A favorite truth of mine is that you can judge the character of a man or a woman by how they treat those who have nothing to offer them. More recently, Wharton business professor Adam Grant says in his book, Give and Take, that for generations, we have focused on the individual drivers of success as passion, hard work, talent, and luck. But he says that today, success is increasingly dependent on how we interact with others. It is dependent, in other words, on the reputation you build and how you are perceived. I have no doubt that each of you have the tools to build your reputation. The fact that you're here means you're not afraid of hard work, that you have ambition to make an impact, and that you see the value in learning from your colleagues. Keep those qualities that brought you here in the first place, and you will have nothing to fear from the blurring boundaries between public and private. Indeed, Technology will only serve to build out your reputation and highlight your successes. And I truly look forward to seeing what successes each of you today will have going forward. And just to be on the safe side, go ahead and check your privacy settings. So speaking of great reputations, it's now my privilege to introduce somebody that has an outstanding one and has done some of the things I've talked about in terms of building her reputation by being interdependent with others. Yvonne Garcia, our commencement speaker for 2019, is Chief of Staff to State Street Bank, our region's largest banking institution, and previously as the bank's Senior Vice President and Global Head of Client Solutions for Investment Management Services. Prior to joining State Street, Yvonne served as Director in Marketing and Distribution Strategy for Liberty Mutual, where she led the development and deployment of complex integrated marketing strategies, including the development and implementation of their Hispanic marketing initiative and the development and implementation of Liberty Mutual's segmentation strategy for personal markets. Yvonne also served as Vice President for Mass Affluent Marketing for their Bank of America and Vice President for their China Construction Strategic Assistance Program. In that role for the Bank of America, Yvonne and her team created and implemented over 5 new wealth management centers throughout China, which now has resulted in 80 centers throughout that country. Yvonne, like some of you in the Quality Management Program, is fully certified in Six Sigma Black Belt and applies that discipline, rigor, and process to every project which she deploys. As an active leader of local and national communities, Yvonne served as the chairwoman for the largest Latino professional organization in the country. Yvonne currently serves on the board of directors for Partnership and is the co-founding chair of Milagros para Niños, a board at the Children's Hospital in Boston, which raised more than $10 million in funds for Hispanic children who can't afford medical care. Governor Charles Baker has asked Yvonne to serve on the state's Latino Advisory Commission board, and most recently, Yvonne was appointed to the prestigious position as chairwoman for the Greater Boston Chamber's Women's Network. Yvonne has twice been featured in Fortune magazine as one of the top 50 most powerful Latinas in the United States, and received the NFL Hispanic Leadership Award from the New England Patriots. Just last month, Yvonne was named Boston Business Journal's Power 50. In addition, and I don't know when you had time to do this, Yvonne has run 9 marathons in the past 7 years in support of various charities across the Commonwealth. Yvonne holds an MBA from Boston University in Finance and Marketing, a Bachelor's of Arts from the State University of New York in Albany. She is also a graduate of the Army ROTC program at Siena College in Louisville, New York, and even holds a certificate in economics and culture from the Sorbonne in Paris. Most recently, Yvonne was awarded an honorary degree in Doctor of Humane Letters from Cambridge College in Boston, but I assured her that after her speech, she's going to get an honorary doctorate in commerce, which I think is more fitting for her background, from New England College of Business and Finance. Please join me in welcoming our graduation speaker, Yvonne Garcia.
Chairman Hodge-Parker, members of the board, President Horton, members of the executive team, faculty, family and friends of the New England College of Business, and of course, the extraordinary graduates of the class of 2019. Thank you for this great privilege and honor to be part of commencement for an institution that embraces and embodies everything that I believe in and hold so dear. The values of access to opportunity for a better future, innovation, self-growth, integrity, diversity, and fairness, and core principles, all of which I work hard every day to demonstrate in my different roles as a corporate community leader, as a mom, as a Latina, and as a citizen of this great country. Class of 2019, it's no surprise to me that this auditorium is filled this afternoon. And as I was walking in, and now as I look into the audience, I see parents, grandparents, your lovely, cute children, and a lot of love and pride. Graduates, they are all here to celebrate you. And they want to walk with you in this last leg of this journey towards your degree. And isn't that what it's all about? Community, family, celebrating with pride. You have sacrificed so much to make it to this stage today, to accept your degree, to lead by example, to be a role model for your families, and in turn provide a better future for yourself and for them too. You know, as I stand up here, I can't help but think back when I graduated with my business degree many years ago. I remember walking across the stage carrying my 6-month-old baby. And I remember being overcome by the sense of fear. As I walked up on the stage carrying my baby girl, I thought to myself, oh God, please don't let her throw up in front of 2,000 people. Stressful for sure. But actually, the fear that I really felt came from this great sense of responsibility for my daughter. I brought her into this world the week of 9/11, and I asked myself, what kind of world have I brought her into? And more importantly, what am I going to do to ensure that she's safe and has a bright future? How was I going to make that happen? And the answer quickly became clear to me. I was going to get my degree and turn fear into power and courage. You see, after I had her, I became much more aggressive with my goals. Like many of you, I went to school full-time, I worked full-time, I doubled up on classes. I felt this sense of urgency. And I remember going to night school and my husband would drive by during my class breaks in the evenings so I could feed my daughter in the car. It was like a drive-through for babies. But I share this with you because as you proceed to take on greater responsibilities in your life, and you're challenged with different commitments and demand on your time, do not forget to appreciate the moment. You see, I wish I would have slowed down a bit. I wish I would have enjoyed my business classes a little bit more. I wish I would have gotten to know my classmates a little bit more, perhaps deepen my network. Quite frankly, I wish I could have fed my baby girl in a rocking chair instead of the backseat of the car. You see, I was always worried about how fast I could get to the finish line. And at times I failed to appreciate and take in the experience and the moment in time right in front of me. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying to be any less ambitious. What I'm saying is enjoy the journey. As a person who has run 9 marathons in the past 8 years, I will tell you that although reaching the finish line is a great feeling, the journey is where the true fulfillment lies. It's the source of joy and sense of accomplishment. The people you meet along the way, the hardships you have overcome and shared with your peers is what makes the finish line the actual beginning, and your college collection's lifelong friends. Be in the moment. Learn from each experience life puts in front of you, the good and the bad. Make time for your family. You will see how you will live a fuller life and learn more by being present. I know that all of you have sacrificed so much to be here. Late nights studying, at work, all while trying to balance family and friends. Some of you have even overcome great obstacles while pursuing your degree. However, what you may not realize is that the sacrifices you have made, the hardship you have experienced, are exactly what have set you up for success. You see, these past years, as difficult as they may have been, they have prepared you to become some of the greatest leaders in our nation. They have tested every fiber of your being. They have challenged you to see how bad you want something. And in turn, here you are, now ready to lead. And as you walk away today with your diploma, which represents freedom and power, I ask that you never forget to bring your whole self to the table. Embrace the value you add and how your perspective will contribute to the success of any organization that is privileged to have you. I would ask that you lead with integrity. Be true to your values. Never underestimate your contribution to the workplace and society, and never settle. You have poured your heart and soul into getting to this great day and have earned every single right to have a seat at that table. But never get too comfortable. Work hard. In fact, work harder than the person next to you at all times, and learn to take risks. I learned that risk can be scary, but also potential for growth. And if you don't learn to take risks, you will miss out on some great experiences in life. For example, I remember when my daughter was 5 and my baby boy was 11 months old. I received a call from an old manager asking me if I would be willing to take an international assignment. He said, "I'm sorry for the late notice, but I was wondering if you'd be willing to come to China on Monday for 2 years." you need to quit your job, lose your investment licenses. Oh, and by the way, I need to know tonight because we need to process your visa in 24 hours. I remember thinking to myself, this is my dream come true. I've always dreamt of working overseas. But then after the excitement wore off, I asked myself, is this a nightmare in disguise? I have 2 children at home that need me. What should I do? And after speaking with my family, I decided to take the job. I decided to sacrifice the short-term comfort for the long-term opportunity. This included missing my son's first birthday. I missed first steps, first words, and many great milestones. And as difficult as that was, it was then the children themselves who actually became my greatest supporters and cheerleaders throughout this experience. It was then that I learned how strong kids are, how you serve as role models for them, and how they thrive when they see their parents doing great things in life. I also learned many great lessons from this experience, like how important it is to surround yourself by people who want to see you succeed. For me, it was my husband, but it could be anyone who will support you. I learned the importance of having a global mindset and understanding that although traditions may be different and the languages we speak may not be the same, at the core, we all want to do the right thing for our companies, we want to be recognized for our efforts, and provide a bright future for our families as a result. That experience was one of my biggest personal sacrifices, but greatest professional accomplishment. If I would have thought about all the reasons why I couldn't or shouldn't do it, the opportunity would have been offered to the next person in line, and I would have missed out on one of the greatest experiences in my life that eventually launched my career to great heights. Graduates, take a chance on yourself. Surround yourself by people who want to see you succeed as bad as you do, and be that role model, that change agent in your family and your community. And please do not let differences divide you. In fact, leverage them to become a global citizen of the world. I've been blessed to be surrounded by many different individuals in my life from all walks of life. My mother is Lebanese, my father is Dominican, we were raised Roman Catholic, my husband is Muslim, my sister married a Jewish man, some of my nephews are Jewish, some are Catholic, some are Muslim, and my children, well, they're just a bit confused. And although we all come from different backgrounds and religious and political views and beliefs, we share the common values of respect, admiration, and the ability to celebrate our differences. And that is what has allowed us to live fuller and richer lives. I ask you do the same. Be curious, learn from people's differences. Equip yourself with cultural agility. It's the greatest skill set possessed by the strongest leaders in our country. And my final ask is that you help others along the way. I remember running the Boston Marathon last year when we had that awful storm. People were giving up, but I knew that that was not an option for me. I then heard the story of our winner that year, Desiree Linden, the first American woman to win the Boston Marathon in 33 years. As she was running the race, she began to feel sick, but decided that she was just going to do what she could to help her fellow Americans stay in the lead. Her friend, Shalane Flanagan, was a bit behind her, and Desiree slowed down and told her, I'm not feeling well, but I'm going to slow down and help block the wind so that you can get ahead. She said, there are a lot of Americans counting on us, and I want to help you win. I want you to think about that for a moment. And I want to encourage you to surround yourself with people that will block the wind for you so that you may get ahead. And I hope you do the same for others. In closing, I remind you of the great values and deep experiences that this great institution has instilled in you. You are prepared. You have the tools, the network, and the platform to fully succeed in this complex global economy. So my ask of you is that you lift others as you climb, as you now bear the burden and responsibility of paving the way for the next generation of leaders. And please remember to lead with purpose. Be intentional. Take risks. Surround yourself with people from different walks of life. Lead with integrity and be the positive change that this country so very much needs. Congratulations, class of 2019. You make us all so very proud.
here's the photographer. We're here. Excuse me. Yvonne, thanks so much for those really, really inspirational remarks. I encourage our graduates to heed those words, and I certainly understand why you both deserve an honorary doctorate in commerce, but also in humanity. Thank you very, very much. At this time, I'd like to ask Chairman Harshbarger and our Provost Deborah Leahy to join me at the podium with Yvonne so she can be hooded with her honorary doctoral degree. Yvonne Garcia, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of New England College of Business and Finance and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, I confer upon you the Doctor of Commerce, honoris causa, with all of the rights and privileges pertaining thereto, and which allows you to be invested with a hood appropriate to the degree.
Good afternoon. I'm Deborah Leahy. I have the privilege of being the provost at New England College of Business. And it is my distinct pleasure to introduce today's speaker, who is representing NECB's graduate programs, Lisi Almeida. Lisi is a graduate at NECB's MBA program, class of 2019, and she also earned her Bachelor of Business Administration at NECB. NECB's graduate programs are intense, they're fast-paced, and they challenge our graduate students beyond their wildest dreams. I think many of you can attest to that. Therefore, you'll appreciate what Lisi has accomplished. While working hard at her studies, Lisi simultaneously served in a variety of professional roles. These roles included teller operations specialist, financial center manager, and senior risk analyst. Currently, Lisi works as an operational risk manager in IT governance, risk, and compliance. Like so many of her fellow graduates, Lisi managed demanding professional roles with equally demanding graduate studies, not an easy feat. Now that Lisi has completed her studies, she deservedly plans to take an expanded vacation, try some new restaurants, and is ready for the next challenge in her career. Lisi also loves spending time with her family, and it is my understanding that Lisi's family may not have been aware that she was chosen as the graduate student speaker today. I can only imagine how proud Lisi's family must be, because we at NECB are also very proud of Lisi and all of the fellow members of the class of 2019. At this time, please join me in welcoming Lisi Almeida to deliver the 2019 Graduate Student Speaker Address.
Good afternoon, honored guests, esteemed faculty, parents, families, and the amazingly talented graduating class of 2019. My name is Elisandra Gomes Almeida, and I like to describe myself as just a kid from Dorchester. A few other words to describe me would be daughter, sister, friend, risk professional, and most importantly, especially today, NECB alumna. I think that each of us could share an array of similar titles and credentials that describe us and our talents, but one thing we have in common is that we all worked so hard to get to this day and celebrate this achievement together. I live by the following words: hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard, and work hard we did. These are the words that led us here today. Because we are all talented, but that extra bit of hard work required to be an online learner puts us amongst the elite. We didn't get here without sacrifice either. We sometimes missed family and recreational events to write endless essays, had to rush home from work to post to discussion boards, and spent countless hours working on group projects, which we all loved so much. But this is all attributed to hard work and investing in ourselves. We knew the value of what continuing our education would bring to our lives, both professionally and personally. It feels as though it was just yesterday that I crossed this very stage when I attained my bachelor's degree in business management. But my journey begins very far away and many years ago. As a first-generation American with parents from the Cape Verde Islands, it was ingrained in me from a very young age that hard work and education were the keys to investing in myself, because my parents did so much to invest in me and my 3 sisters. Yes, there are 4 girls in my family. And Dad, I don't know how you emerged unscathed with minimal gray hairs, but thank you. So I share this moment and any success with them because we did it together. So this one's for us. Our story begins on a small island named Sininclau off the west coast of Africa. This is where my parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents learned about that hard work I spoke of earlier. They had no shoes, no electricity, and no modern amenities. They walked miles to get water and carried it back for their family, fed livestock, cooked and cleaned, all before walking miles and miles to school every morning, and then came home and did it all over again. My grandparents and parents emigrated to the United States in the 1960s and 70s during a time when there were very little resources for newcomers. It was hard, but they trudged along, learned English, started a family, and bought homes, so we'd always have something to call our own. I watched my mom and dad go to night school throughout my childhood, and somewhere along the line, this really laid the groundwork for me, seeing how important it was to invest in myself, in my education, but not without a couple bumps along the way. Now, here come the bumps. When I was 16, I dropped out of high school. This was a great disappointment for my parents and to myself. For the first time in my life, I was lost and felt like I didn't belong anywhere. Luckily, I have a great family to pull me up, most notably my mom. She understood that we all make mistakes, never judged, and pushed me to get my GED. Mom, thank you so much. Doesn't matter how deeply I bury myself, sometimes you're always there with the shovel to pick me up and lend me a hand. Thank you. My story could have gone a lot of ways, but the good news is it's all uphill from here. At 18, I got a job at Bank of America, where I started from the bottom as a teller and worked my way up. By 19, I was a supervisor, but I knew that something was missing. I soon enrolled at NECB after discovering them at a job fair that my boss made me go to. Ein, thank you so much for seeing my potential and pushing me way back when I didn't believe in myself. At 21, I became a manager, but not without hard work and more sacrifices. Here come more bumps. I took a couple of years off school a few years in, but the desire to complete my degree was always there. I knew it was important for me to achieve it as a personal and professional goal. Once again, a light shined on me, and this time it was from NECB. I got an email asking me to re-enroll and even offering to waive owed tuition. They must have known that the funds were low, so. Thankfully, NECB welcomed me back. From that point, the goal was always to get my MBA. I knew it would take a lot to get here, but knew it would be an investment in myself, my career, and my future. Almost 10 years from the start, we made it. Thank you so much to everyone who helped and supported me along the way. And again, congratulations to the class of 2019. We did it.
I'm a little short, so I don't have to. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Donna Beans. I am the Dean of Undergrad Studies and the Program Chair for Business and Healthcare here at NECB. Today, I have the pleasure to introduce our undergrad student speaker, Nicholas Carr. Nick currently works at one of our corporate partners, Rockland Trust, as the Digital Service Coordinator, and in 2017, he was named Employee of the Year. Nick is originally from Massachusetts, but he currently lives in East Providence, Rhode Island with his fiancée, Kate, and his son, Silas, who Nick defines as the coolest kid you'll ever meet. As a full-time employee, full-time fiancé, and full-time dad, Nick returned to school to honor a promise he made to his mom to finish college. Although he was juggling career and family, Nick jumped into his academic life. He was determined to succeed. In the classroom, he worked hard, and he was always willing to bring in current events. Today, Nick has honored his promise to his mom and is graduating from New England College of Business, summa cum laude, with his Bachelor's of Science in Business Administration. Please join me in welcoming our undergrad student speaker, Nicholas Clark.
Hey, Mom. My mom did not know I was doing a speech today, so surprise. This year's commencement theme is Invest in You. This theme makes me think about all of the ridiculous things that I've spent on myself over the years in a quest for individuality. Tattoos, piercings, Doc Martens. Those are boots, Mom. Skinny jeans. I know, I still wear them. These investments may have defined the way that I appeared, but they didn't define the person that I am. My current employer, Rockland Trust, led me to NECB, which led me to the chance of self-investment. But what does it mean to invest in yourself? What do you think about when you're given the opportunity for this type of investment? I think about the love and knowledge from my 7-year-old son, Silas. I did it. It's me he looks up to, and it's me that he learns what being a strong person requires. I think about the investment of patience. Knowing that I had a long journey ahead, I had to choose to continue learning and to remain patient that all the assignments, books, and Sunday night deadlines were worth it. I think about the investment of goals, because it's through these goals that our lives take on meaning. Without our goals, our days will only blend together, unrecognizable from one to the next. The accomplishment of our goals provides purpose and cause for celebration. Congrats. As this goal has now been completed, I breathe confidently from my experiences in marketing and law, management, and the other curricula offered to me through my undergraduate degree. NECB offered me the ability to realize my potential, to invest in myself, to become a better investor in others, and to define my life by the goals I set and accomplish. NECB offered me the opportunity to realize my potential. I would just like to leave off with a couple words of advice. In order for others to invest in you, you have to invest in yourself first. In order for others to see you as a worthy investment, you have to wholeheartedly believe and act on the investment of yourself. Continue to invest in yourself and continue to invest in others. Continue to set your goals. Continue to shape your life in a way that brings you purpose and meaning. But most importantly, continue to define the person that you are. Thank you. God bless. Congratulations. Go Sox!
Thank you, Nick. Today, I am delighted to have with me the amazing NECB faculty, some of whom are sitting on the stage behind me. I am certain that many of our graduates have tremendous memories of working with faculty on engaging assignments and even those group projects that you all love so much. NECB faculty are tremendously committed to their students. So many of our conversations at the college is about how we can be there for our students, how we can deliver the best education, how we can deliver high-touch student services. So I'm sure many of you can attest. With that in mind, I would ask all faculty and program chairs to please stand. Thank you. So you can imagine that every year how difficult of a job we have. Every year we ask students who are graduating to vote for Faculty Member of the Year. It's our Distinguished Faculty Member of the Year award. And we get many nominations. One of the things that makes me so proud is so many of our faculty are nominated. The award is based on outstanding teaching skills, personal growth and development as a faculty member, giving extraordinary time and effort devoted to academic area and activities, providing student development assistance within and outside of the class. So this year, we are delighted to recognize the recipient of the 2019 Distinguished Faculty Award, Marla Snyder, from the Master of Science in Business Ethics and Compliance program. Marla brings over 40 years of experience in the financial services industry. In 2019, Marla was appointed by then Governor Deval Patrick to the Elder Protective Services Commission for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts as the financial services expert on preventing financial abuse of elders. Marla has done radio and television interviews on this topic, as well as educational seminars for both seniors at community centers and banking professionals throughout Massachusetts. Today, Marla is employed at Envision Bank as Vice President of Compliance and serves as the bank's Chief Risk Officer. Marla's primary focus at Envision Bank is the challenge of monitoring and analyzing developing trends and changes in consumer protection, legislation, and regulations, and working with management on creating and managing its enterprise risk management program. Marla has a Bachelor of Science from Tufts University and an MBA from Northeastern University. She is also a certified regulatory compliance manager and certified anti-money laundering and fraud professional. And, of course, Marla is a professor at NECB and has impacted the lives of many of her students. Through her teaching, Marla has emphasized the relevancy of education at NECB to students' careers. For instance, one student shared she added wonderful real-life references throughout the course. Another student expressed appreciation for how Marla had students reevaluate real-world scenarios in real-world corporations and how these assignments deepened learning and created a link between classroom learning and professional application. Marla has also extended herself to her students and has acted as an educational mentor. Students share that Marla was highly engaged and supportive. One student expressed that Marla was very active in her classroom and very attentive to her students while demanding master's level work, while another student shared that Marla provided detailed and thoughtful feedback and was helpful to me for each subsequent assignment, and therefore created a cohesive learning environment. These represent just a sample of sentiments that have been expressed about Marla. At NECB, we are very grateful to have Marla as a member of our faculty. Therefore, at this time, I would ask you to please congratulate Marla Snyder as the 2019 recipient of the Distinguished Faculty Award.
Good afternoon, Chairman Harshberger, President Horton, Dr. Leahy, distinguished faculty, graduates, and guests. Thank you for this award. I'm honestly a little surprised. Hello out there to my students. I was truly surprised when I received the email from Deb Cementa telling me I was this year's recipient. The idea of being an outstanding faculty member was not on my radar as an adjunct instructor. It gives me great pleasure to share the honor of receiving this award with you, the class of 2019. You stand out among graduates because of the sacrifices you have made to earn your degrees. You are working, raising families, caring for elderly parents, and managing the challenges of daily life and finances, as opposed to the luxury of being a full-time student with your classes being your primary focus. I also admire all of us who have navigated the world of the virtual classroom, learning how to use Canvas and an e-library. This is certainly something I did not envision during my time attending part-time classes at Northeastern, working on my MBA, when we typed our papers on typewriters with carbon paper and whiteout, and modern-day computing that required punch cards for input. I have always been passionate about education. My dream career would be that of a perpetual student, earning a PhD in education, I mentor my boss, then perhaps a law degree. I am a sponge for knowledge. Following all that education, I aspire to write a book. In the practical world of reality, I am a compliance officer in the banking industry. As my children grew up and needed less of my time, I decided the time was right to pursue a teaching opportunity. I contacted Deb Cementa, who is chair of the Master of Business Ethics and Compliance, or as we know and love it, MBEC program. The timing was perfect, as NEBC had a need for instructors in this program. I joined the faculty as an adjunct professor in 2017. I had no preconceived expectations about teaching adults seeking advanced degrees while working full-time and raising families. I was immediately impressed by my students' commitment to success. You all work long days in the financial services, insurance, education, and medical industries. Many of you are raising families. Some of you are dealing with life challenges, such as job loss, divorce, or major illness. Yet every single student embraces the learning experience, participating in discussion boards, sometimes in the late hours of the evening or the early hours of the mornings. I have gained information, knowledge, and a better understanding of diverse industries from you. This is what the experience of ongoing education should be. A valuable exchange of professional and academic knowledge, along with personal experience that we all learn from. The MBEC program addresses the strengths and weaknesses of corporations and their interaction with regulators. We see how corporate greed and shareholder profit drive cost-cutting behaviors that result in harm to consumers and our community. We see regulators who are ineffective because of lack of industry knowledge, lack of resources, and collusion with the industry they regulate. But we also see innovations in technology, corporate management, and government that embrace green initiatives and stakeholder value that offer sustained quality of life to all, shareholders, the community, customers, employees, and future generations. At NEBC, we are meeting the need of developing new managers that will foster and encourage corporate strategies that have all stakeholders' welfare at their core. Finally, I would like to thank Deb Cementa. Deb was a work colleague for years before she joined NEBC on a full-time basis. She was the first person I turned to when I decided I could fulfill my dream of being a perpetual student through teaching. She provided the opportunity to make my aspiration a reality. I would also like to thank my husband and family for their support and patience during the sessions I teach. They have spent many Sundays with me reading articles on the beach, yes, I do the work too, folding laundry, or waiting for a late dinner while I finish grading a discussion post. I look forward to many more years of teaching and learning and getting acquainted with diverse individuals sharing a common goal of making the world of industry more ethical with stronger corporate governance. Congratulations to all of you, and thank you.
Thank you, Marla. So we have another treat for you. We are so pleased to have Sound Off with us today. Sound Off is an award-winning a cappella band based right here in Boston. Similar to all of you in our graduating class today, the members of Sound Off come from multiple career paths but are brought together through a singular passion, in this case, music. They join us today to entertain us with their special genre of modern pop with a soulful twist. And of course, to honor the graduating class of 2019. We think that you will find their songs quite contagious, so please join me in welcoming Sound Off.
So don't stop under the light when everything goes. Nowhere else you go. We already know. Something magical. It's in the air, it's in my blood, it's rushing on. Don't need no reason to control. I'm feeling very in that zone. Sunshine in my pocket, soul in my head, but in my body. When it drops, I can take my eyes off of it. So when I'm in the bed, my heart goes baby rocking. So don't stop, under the lights when everything goes. Got this feeling in my body, yeah. Got this feeling in my body, can't stop the. Got this feeling in my body, when everything goes, no matter how you go, we already know. Can't stop the Got this feeling in my body. Got this feeling in
How do I follow that? Should I sing? Okay, just a little. Good afternoon, class of 2019. My name is Jennifer Brady. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer at NECB. As we come together today to recognize and celebrate your determination, hard work, and remarkable achievements, we'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the college's dedicated staff who've worked tirelessly to support you throughout your journey. Each year at commencement, we present an Outstanding Staff Member of the Year award to one staff member who has gone above and beyond expectations to contribute to the positive experience of our students, as well as the entire NECB organization. With such a talented and dedicated staff, I can tell you that selecting just one person to receive this award is a very difficult task. This year's award recipient is passionate about the college's mission of providing exceptional educational programs to businesses and their employees. In her 7+ years with the college as an integral member of our corporate partnership team, she has helped many organizations offer educational benefits to employees, resulting in many students, including those here today, a pathway to furthering their education to achieve their professional and personal goals. Regarded by her colleagues at NECB and the organization she serves as always being attentive and compassionate in all her interactions, she strives to build authentic and meaningful relationships with her partners and their staff. To Amy, her work is personal and incredibly important. She truly wants to make a difference in the lives of those seeking advancement in their careers through advanced education. NECB is very lucky to have Amy on our team. Please join me in honoring NECB's Outstanding Staff Member of the Year, Senior Director of Corporate Partnerships, Ms. Amy Amaru. Of course, she sat in the very end because she didn't realize she was getting this, so just bear with us while she walks down. Now I can sing, actually. No, okay. Thank you.
Good afternoon, I'm Jeff Cronin, the librarian at the New England College of Business and Finance. It is my pleasure this afternoon. It is my pleasure this afternoon to grant the awards for the E-Library Award for Research. The E-Library Award for Research was created by the New England College of Business and Finance E-Library to encourage more and better use of its resources and collections, to advance information literacy at NECB, and to promote academic excellence at the college. Over the last year, more than a dozen research papers were submitted by NECB faculty and reviewed by a selection team. The papers submitted were evaluated based on their originality, depth, breadth, and sophistication in the use of the library and internet resources. This was a difficult decision because some exceptional papers were submitted. The award that we will be granting is a Kindle, and these papers will also be posted at the E-Library as examples of the very best research produced by our students. The committee chose 2 students to receive the award this year. The first winner is Rebecca Harmon for her paper, Unsuccessful IT Project Analysis. I now invite Rebecca to come to the stage to receive her award.
Thank you. Hi, Jeffrey.
The second winner is Jeff Evat for his paper Performance Management. I now invite Jeff to come to the stage to receive his award. Thank you.
Good afternoon, class of 2019. I'm Dennis Madigan. I'm the Vice President of Administration and Finance at the college. And it's my pleasure, on behalf of the NECB Alumni Association, to introduce Charlene Malcolm, our Alumni Association President. Charlene is a tremendous advocate for the college and for our distinguished alumni, and she has earned 2 degrees here at NECB. The first, a Bachelor's in Business Administration in 2013, and a Master's in Business Ethics and Compliance in 2014. And she's gone on to continue her educational journey, pursuing a doctorate in business leadership. Please join me in welcoming NECB's Alumni Association President, Charlene Malcolm.
Good afternoon, everyone. First and foremost, congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. It feels like yesterday I was sitting right where you are, and the time's gonna go by so quickly, so embrace. You did it. After your hard work and dedication, you've earned your NECB degree. Again, you've earned your NECB degree. Great job. On behalf of the NECB Alumni Association, we applaud you for reaching this important milestone. As you now embark on the next phase of your life, know that you're not in it alone. You are a distinguished member of the NECB's Alumni Association. Cultivating ongoing relationships is very important. I'm finding that out on a daily basis, not only to me, but to our NECB family. And I refer to them as a family. As you see, they can't get rid of me. I encourage you to participate in the NECB Alumni Association. As an active member, you will be doing your part to make NECB and the alumni network stronger. So if you could do me a favor, while traveling home and reflecting on this great day, I want you to consider the strength in staying connected, being informed, and remaining involved. Again, we welcome you, we congratulate you, and we will look forward to helping you maintain your relationship with the New England College of Business and Finance. Thank you.
Okay, now the moment you've all been waiting for. You've seen a lot happen on the stage. I'm sure all of you would like some stage time too. President Horton, I am proud to present to you the class of 2019 candidates for graduation. Each of these students has successfully completed the academic requirements for the New England College of Business and Finance. Please recognize them by conferring the degrees that they have earned. At this time, I invite my colleague, Vice President of Administration and Finance, Dennis Madigan, to present each graduate to President Horton and the processional line.
Thank you, Provost Leahy. At this time, I invite Program Chair Donna Veens to join me in presenting the Associate in Science and Business Administration degrees. Now, will the Associate in Science and Business Administration degree candidates please stand and come forward? Don't be afraid, come on Anna Brodeur. Stacy Lynn Chismer. Linda Maria Sinelli. Tanisha Higgins. Izzy Monique Hawkins. Paula Calindres. Haley Hannock. Amber Lynn Lang. Caitlin Joyce Dudley Cheney. Charlene Renee DeVere. Laura Lee Conlett. Maria Marshall. Stephanie Jewel Moss. Sharmia Sido. Stacy Skeet. Cassidy Terrell Smith. Kathleen Vidro. Now, will the Associate of Science in Healthcare Administration degree candidates please stand and come forward? Selena Mack. Now, at this time, will the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration degree candidates please stand and come forward? Nicholas James Carr. Catherine Fumi Alade. Wendy Brown. M. Garrett Lewis. Iris Lee Lau. Renee Kolakowski. Teresa Gennaro. Marla Ann Holly. Jeremy Dano. Bernadette DeLeon Reese. Patricia Anne-Marie Farquharson. Dejanir Gonzalez. Sean Michael Hargraves. Caitlin Lucier. Karen Masoni. Alexandria Morrissey. Amber Dawn Panette. Thomas Ponce. Denise Dolores Walker. Tracy Marie Wrightington. Lindsay Elizabeth St. Pierre. Allison Sittler. Karen Mary Shorfaidure. Desiree Roebuck. Thomas Vincent Young. At this time, will the basic accounting certificate please stand and come forward? Maybe step down. In that case, I invite Program Chair Dr. Janine Jakes to join me in presenting the Bachelor of Science in Digital Marketing degrees. Now, will the Bachelor of Science in Digital Marketing degree candidates please stand and come forward? Abigail McNeil. Now will the Bachelor of Science in Quality Systems Management degree students please stand and come forward. Richard Anthony DeLeon Jones. Joshua David Ellen. Ideboyega Oshinowo. Lizardo Santiago Otero III. At this time, I invite Program Chair Dr. Deborah Samenta to join me in presenting the Master of Business Ethics and Compliance degrees. Now, will the Master of Business Ethics and Compliance degree candidates please stand and come forward? Yvonne Donkwa. Christina Lynn Cruz. Lorraine Rosalind Burnaby. Anne-Marie Lynn LeBlanc. Roberta Melinda Salafia. Judamaya Agnel Chiapani. At this time, I invite Program Chair Dr. Sam Rendell to join me in presenting the Master of Healthcare Management degrees. Now, will the Master of Healthcare Management degree candidates please stand and come forward? was here a little while ago. Nicely done. Well, in that case, at this time, will the Master of Science and Finance degree candidates please stand and come forward? Trevor Amir Taylor. Now will the Global Finance Certificate candidate please stand and come forward? Daniel John O'Connell. Once again, I invite Program Chair Dr. Janine Jakes to join me in presenting the Master of Science and Quality Systems Management degrees. Now will the Master of Science and Quality Systems Management degree candidates please stand and come forward. Jeffrey Scott Evac. Joanna Gabriela Hayes. Uman Kapil. Itzel Yvette Laxina. John Panarello. At this time, will the Doctor of Business Administration and Quality Systems Management degree candidates please stand and come forward with your hood in your hand. Hold it, if you don't mind, Doctor of Business Administration candidates, please return to your seats. I think a page got stuck. I invite Dr. Carla Padalano to join me in presenting. I think a page is missing. We're going to wait it. Dr. Carla Padalano will join me in presenting the Master of Business Administration degree candidates. Please stand and come forward. Elisandra Holmes Almeida. Rebecca Harmon. Tatiana Filipovich. Jessica Favreau. Sarah Alexandra Cummings. Michaela Fontaine. Sarah Celine Courtney. Jordi Joseph Guerrero. Rogery Marcel Jerome. Nabil Ahmed Khan. Melissa Lansell Kimball. Ana Maria Leonardo Iloa. Beverly Ann Mitchell. Olumayorwa Okubanyo. Veronica Palantonio. Violeta Blagovestova Peters. Jessica Lynn Romano. Perry Ann Sander. Anna Ilebeska. Jaskaran Singh Oberoi. Sharan Singh Pham. Now at this time, will the Master of Human Resource Management degree candidates please stand and come forward. Julie K. Evans. Leslie King. Elisa Odette Reyna Flores. Carlotta Marie Reynolds White. Now at this time, once again, I invite Dr. Janine Jakes to join me in presenting the Doctor of Business of Administration and Quality Systems Management degree candidates. Dr. James Aiken, Jr. Dr. Aiken's dissertation title is Exploring the Impact of the Enterprise Architecture of Klinger-Cohen Act of 1996 at the Department of Defense's Defense Health Agency, a phenomenological study. Dr. Eleanor Ann Black. Dr. Black's dissertation was entitled Investigating Leadership Gaps in Long-Term Care Facilities, Challenges, Impact on Nursing Staff, and Strategies for Stability. Dr. Francis John Larvey. Dr. Larvey's dissertation was entitled Healthcare Value, Controlling Costs Through Quality Purchasing. And last but certainly not least, Dr. Violeta Faye Prince. Dr. Prince's dissertation is entitled Exploring Factors That Enable Understanding of Network Security Gaps Exploited by Power Users. Congratulations to all graduates.
One second. At this time, I would like to ask all the graduates to stand. By the power vested in me by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and all of our accrediting agencies, I now confer upon you the degree to which you have earned and all its rights and privileges. We just have one more thing to do. As a symbol of your New England College of Business and Finance graduation, we will now perform the traditional swinging of the tassels on your caps from when on three, from right to left. One, and you can say yippee and we'll do again. 1, 2, 3. Come on, audience, let's stand and give them a hand. Thank you, thank you. Distinguished guests, graduates, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the conclusion of our official program. I want to thank you for joining us and making this occasion a memorable event in the lives of our graduates. I would ask that you please remain seated until the platform party and all the graduates have exited the auditorium. I also want to take this opportunity to invite you to join us in the Dorothy Quincy room downstairs, where we will have light refreshments. We will now begin the recessional. The order of the recessional is the stage party, followed by the students, and then friends, family, and supporters of the graduates. Again, thank you for being here today. Graduates, many, many congratulations. Thank you.